question submitted by you.
President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates Dharma Chakra Day celebrations on Ashad Purnima. President says Lord Buddha's message serves as a beacon during the difficult times of the pandemic. President says Buddha's message to shun greed, hatred, violence, jealousy and many other vices to find happiness is relevant even today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses the Dharma Chakra celebrations. Prime Minister says teachings of Lord Buddha can help us tackle the challenges that the world faces today. Prime Minister urges young people of the nation to stay connected with the thoughts of Lord Buddha, which have relevance for all times. Prime Minister Narendra Modi sanctions ex-gratia of rupees 2 lakh each for the next of kin of persons who lost their lives due to floods in Assam. Union Home Minister Amit Shah holds meeting of officials to review preparedness and measures taken to tackle the flood situation in major flood-prone river basins across the country. Home Minister directs officials to develop a well-planned scheme to reduce flooding and loss of lives and property. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar congratulates DD News on completion of 5 years of weekly Sanskrit program Vartavali. The minister says the program has helped in increasing the popularity of Sanskrit language. Recovery rate of COVID-19 in the country stands at 60.8%. 2.35 lakh active cases of COVID-19 in the country, while 3.94 lakh people cured from the pandemic. 18,655 COVID-related deaths reported in the country so far. Total cases of COVID-19 cross 11 million globally, with more than 5.2 lakh deaths reported so far. Cases in worst hit US nears 28 lakh with almost 1.3 lakh deaths. Hello, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. Our top story first. President Ramnath Kovind today inaugurated the Dharma Chakra Day celebrations on the occasion of Ashad Purnima at his residence in New Delhi. The Ashad Purnima celebrations were organized by a Union Ministry of Culture in partnership with International Buddhist Confederation. Dharma Chakra Day commemorates Lord Buddha's first sermon to his first 5 ascetic disciples at Deer Park in the present-day Sarnath near Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh. The day is also celebrated by Buddhists all over the world as the day of Dharma Chakra Pravartana, or turning of the wheel of Dharma. Union Minister for Culture and Tourism Prahlad Patel presented digitalized publication of Mongolian Kanjur to President Ramnath Kovind. And speaking on the occasion, President Kovind said that Lord Buddha's message to shun greed, hatred, violence, jealousy and many other vices to find happiness is relevant at the present scenario as well.
His cure for human suffering remains as relevant today as it was over 2.5 millennia ago. There is no doubt that the urgency of abiding by the values that the Buddha preached is eternal. By ignoring the soothing wisdom of every spiritual tradition, we have arrived at the juncture where we find ourselves today. It is high time we paid heed.
The President said Lord Buddha's message serves as a beacon of light during the difficult times of pandemic.
Today, as the pandemic ravages human lives and economies across the globe, the Buddha's message serves like a beacon. He advised people to shun greed, hatred, violence, jealousy and many other vices to find happiness.
Paying tributes to Lord Buddha on Guru Purnima, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the eightfold path of Lord Buddha shows the way towards well-being of many societies and nations. He also said that it also highlighted the importance of compassion and kindness. In his video message, the Prime Minister said that teachings of Lord Buddha celebrate simplicity both in thought and action.
Teachings of Lord Buddha celebrate simplicity both in thought and action. Buddhism teaches respect, respect for people, respect for the poor, respect for women, respect for peace and non-violence. Therefore, the teachings of Buddhism are the means to a sustainable planet. Friends, in his very first sermon in Sarnath and his teachings after that, Lord Buddha spoke on two things: hope and purpose. He saw a strong link between them. From hope comes a spirit of purpose. For Lord Buddha, it was the removal of human suffering. We have to rise to the occasion and do whatever we can to increase hope among people.
Prime Minister Modi stressed that today bright young minds are finding solutions to global problems. He said that our startup sector led by our youth is a great example of how hope, innovation and compassion can remove suffering. The Prime Minister also urged youth of the country to stay connected with the thoughts of Lord Buddha.
Our youth, if you want to see a great example of how hope, innovation and compassion can remove suffering, it is our startup sector led by our youth. Bright young minds are finding solutions to global problems. India has one of the largest startup ecosystems. I would urge my young friends to also stay connected with the thoughts of Lord Buddha. They will motivate and show the way ahead. At times, they will even calm you down or cheer you up.
Stressing on connectivity, Prime Minister mentioned that Indian cabinet few days back announced that Kushinagar airport will be an international one.
The Indian cabinet announced that Kushinagar airport will be an international one. This will bring so many people, pilgrims and tourists. It would also generate economic opportunities for many. India awaits you.
The special message of President of Mongolia was also read out by the Ambassador of Mongolia to India on the occasion.
Mongolians have learned from Buddhism and cherish and have cultivated its ideas such as compassion, benevolence, and peaceful resolution of differences. I am confident that through the Dharma Chakra Divas event, sorts of famous religious, cultural, social figures will be compassionately shared with the people, and that it will increase the international significance of Buddhism, help to build a better world and better tomorrow through peace and stability, and spread the call for the wave of peace. I am proud to say that you Buddhists have great potential for spreading peace not only in your body, in your family and country, but also the world over.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi undertook a day-long visit to Leh on Friday. Prime Minister performed Sindhu Darshan Puja on his arrival at Nimu, the Forward Brigade place in Ladakh on Friday. And during his day-long visit to Leh on Friday, Prime Minister paid floral tributes to the fallen soldiers of Galwan at the Hall of Fame at the War Memorial in Leh. Prime Minister's surprise visit to Ladakh came as a morale booster for the forces along the line of actual control. Accompanied by Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat and Army Chief General M.M. Narvane, Prime Minister visited the Nimu forward post in Ladakh. Prime Minister met the top army leadership and was briefed about the situation at the LAC. Next came an interaction with the Army, Air Force and Indo-Tibetan Border Police personnel. In his address, the Prime Minister paid tributes to the valour of the soldiers. He recalled the sacrifice of the Galwan Valley martyrs. Delivering a stern message to the world, Prime Minister asserted, "Our commitment to peace is not our weakness. The time for expansionism is over and this is the era of development," said the Prime Minister.
विस्तारवाद का युग समाप्त हो चुका है। ये युग विकासवाद का है। तेजी से बदलते हुए समय में विकासवाद ही प्रासंगिक है। विकासवाद के लिए ही अवसर है और विकासवाद ही भविष्य का आधार भी है। विस्तारवाद की जीत जब किसी पर सवार हुई है, उसने हमेशा विश्व शांति के सामने खतरा पैदा किया है। और साथियों, ये न भूले, इतिहास गवाह है कि ऐसी ताकतें मिट गई हैं या मुड़ने के लिए मजबूर हो गई है।
In a surprise to all, he came to Leh and also touched all the important points to send a strong signal across the borders and to boost the morale of the soldiers guarding the country's sovereignty at the borders. The Prime Minister also addressed the army soldiers at Nemo Army establishment and said that the courage, valor and dedication of Indian Army is to protect the honor of Mother India is incomparable. And also, let's get to other news. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday sanctioned an ex-gratia amount of rupees 2 lakh each for the next of the kin of the persons who lost their lives due to the devastating floods in Assam. The fund will be given to Assam flood victims from the Prime Minister National Relief Fund. Earlier in the day, Prime Minister spoke to Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal and reviewed the current situation after the heavy rain and resultant floods. He also assured Sonowal of all central assistance. Meanwhile, in Assam, 20 districts of the state are still affected by floods. The situation, though, is showing some signs of improvement. However, water level at some places is still above the danger level mark. Now, according to the flood bulletin released by Assam State Disaster Management Authority on Friday, 20 districts of the state are reeling under flood water with 13.26 lakh population affected. With one person losing life within 24 hours, the death toll this flood season has reached 35. Altogether, 156 relief camps and distribution centers are functional, housing 11,741 inmates. Relief and rescue operations by SDRF and NDRF personnel have resulted in the evacuation of 1,189 marooned people so far. World-famous Kaziranga National Park is still underwater. Union Home Minister Amit Shah held a high-level meeting in New Delhi on Friday to review the preparedness of measures to deal with monsoon and flood situation in major flood-prone river basins in the country. Home Minister directed officials to develop a well-planned scheme to reduce flooding and minimize the loss to property and lives. Amit Shah also emphasized on better coordination between agencies to have a permanent system for forecasting of floods and rise in water levels in major catchment zones and areas of the country. He also asked for action on following up on priority areas to provide permanent solutions to the perennial flood problems in the states of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and also the northeastern states. The Home Minister also directed the Ministry of Jal Shakti and Central Water Commission to review and assess the data on real storage capacity of major dams with a view to ensure timely releases of water and prevention of floods. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, Ministry of Human Resource Development has decided to postpone JEE and the NEET examinations. JEE main examination will be held between 1st to 6th of September. JEE advanced examination will be held on 27th of September. NEET examination will be held on 13th of September. The recovery rate among COVID-19 patients in the country has crossed 60%, which means it is now standing at 60.8%. Presently, there are 2,35,433 active cases, while 3,94,226 people have recovered. Coordinated efforts at all levels of government for prevention, containment and management of COVID-19 are showing good results, with consistently increasing gap between recoveries and the active cases. As on date, there are 1,58,792 recovered cases, more than the active COVID-19 cases. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has extended greetings on the completion of 5 years of Doordarshan's weekly Sanskrit program Vartavali. In a tweet, he said, and I quote him, "This program has not only won the hearts of Sanskrit lovers, but has also attracted many others. This has led to promotion of Sanskrit language, while unique initiatives like translation of songs have created many such attractions." In international news, WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus has said that results from clinical trials it is conducting of drugs that might be effective in treating COVID-19 patients can be expected soon. The WHO chief, Tedros Ghebreyesus, said nearly 5,500 patients in 39 countries have so far been recruited into the Solidarity trial, and interim results are expected within the next 2 weeks.
The group reviewed data from the Solidarity trial and agreed on the need for more trials to test different classes of therapeutics at different stages of the disease. Nearly 5,500 patients in 39 countries have so far been recruited into the Solidarity trial. We expect interim results within the next 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has said that almost 30% of genome sequencing data from samples of COVID-19 virus collected have shown signs of mutation. It, however, asserted that there is no evidence this has led to more severe disease. As per the results collected this month, out of the 60,000 samples collected of the disease from worldwide, mutation of the virus was found in some 65% of the cases by April. The genetic mutation in the new coronavirus significantly increases its ability to infect cells and may explain why outbreaks in northern Italy and New York were larger than the ones seen earlier in the pandemic. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that he would set out a timetable next week for when the sectors of the country's economy would be allowed to reopen from their COVID-19 lockdowns. Britain allowed non-essential retailers to reopen last month, and pubs, restaurants, cinemas and other leisure and hospitality businesses are due to open their doors again today, as long as they follow the social distancing rules. Britain has recorded over 2.85 lakh confirmed cases and over 44,000 deaths. The Cuban capital stirred to life after more than 3 months of lockdown, but there were no signs of tourists on Havana's quiet streets, while residents fretted over shortages of food and other basic goods. Havana's residents were able to once again use public transportation and private taxis, go to the beach and other outdoor recreation centers, and enjoy the city's famed Malecon Seafront Drive. Now, most of the island has been free of the disease for more than a month. Communist authorities have warned the Caribbean faces a near 10% drop in economic activity and years of crisis. As swaths of Brazil struggle to tame new infections of COVID-19, President Jair Bolsonaro has vetoed parts of a law that would have made wearing a face mask obligatory in enclosed spaces where large groups gather. Bolsonaro's veto comes as Brazil nears 1.5 million confirmed COVID-19 cases so far. The virus continues to ravage Latin America's largest country, even as cities reopen the bars, restaurants and gyms, sparking fears that infections will keep rising. Brazil has the world's second largest outbreak after the United States, and the virus has killed over 61,000 people in the country. Meanwhile, Sao Paulo, Brazil's largest and worst hit city, is expected to open bars and restaurants next week. Pakistan Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi on Friday announced that he has tested positive for COVID-19 and has quarantined himself, becoming the latest senior politician in the country to be hit by the deadly virus. Qureshi is the senior-most functionary of the Pakistani government to be infected with the virus. He is the vice president of ruling Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and is considered as number 2 in the government after Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. And that's it in this edition of the News Sasa. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.